And with that, I'm going to introduce Mara. She is our AmeriCorps Vista Communications Specialist, and Miranda, our Field Engagement Intern, and they will be taking the lead today. So if you guys want to go ahead and get going. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. That was basically an introduction we were going to do about ourselves. So that was great, Sarah. So today you're all here for the first of our 4-part series for the Trekking Through Trail Communities. So in this series, we'll be kind of sharing highlights from each of our 17 trail communities. We broke them down into regions to make them a little more bite-sized. So today we'll be talking about our northern region, which is St. Croix Falls, Cornell, Rib Lake, Merrill, and Antigo. So I'm going to go ahead and share our screen. We also, while I'm doing that, we also have some folks from those trail communities here that will be part of our presentation. So if you guys want to give a quick hello as we're getting started, feel free. Okay. So, as you know, I'm Mara. I'm the communications support specialist, and my position is part of AmeriCorps Vista. Miranda, I don't know if you want to add anything to your introduction.
Nope, Sarah pretty much covered it. Yep, I'm the field engagement intern. You may have seen me around at events, or you may see me in the future.
Yeah. So kind of the way the presentation is broken down is Miranda and I have worked, along with Amy, worked very hard at updating our itineraries for this year. And so we'll kind of share some pics from the itineraries of like places, shops, restaurants, attractions that we think would be really cool for people to visit in these trail communities. And then we also had some local representatives send us a list of places that are kind of hidden gems and local favorites. So there'll be, I believe, Vicki from Cornell and Carrie from Antigo are here, and they'll be sharing their picks with you guys and be able to provide some insider information. So yeah, this is kind of an excuse to start planning your Mammoth Hike challenge. We'll talk about that more at the end. But yeah, our first trail community is St. Croix Falls.
All right, so for the Alliance picks, we're going to start off with the Fine Acres Market. This is a relatively small local market in St. Croix Falls, but it offers really great local produce and healthy food. So it'd be a great place to stock up on snacks, or if you just need to run in and grab something. It seems like a very cute, quaint little store that has a ton of food in it. The next stop that you can go to is Three Arrows Coffee Shop. It's a relatively new coffee shop that was created in 2018, and it has since grown a lot bigger. So you can go there and get your coffee fixins in the morning, or you can also buy bags to go. They've expanded so much that they also have a sister company that will also roast their own beans and all of that. So that's really cool, local shop. If you're into any sweets, you can go to Valley Sweets. They have some really good ice cream and chocolate chop ice cream. I think they also have homemade chocolates and other baked goods. Trap Rock Brewing is also another great place to go visit. It's a microbrewery. They always have events going on. They have live music. Sometimes they hold like biking events, and they really focus a lot on being able to socialize and meet other people. And then some other things to do around the area. You could go to Interstate State Park and actually go to the terminus of the Ice Age Trail, the one side of it. So that would be really cool to tap the rock, say that you met one of the ends. The National Riverway is also extremely popular. You could rent kayaks and go out kayaking and see all the great views. Chateau St. Croix Winery is also very cool. It's a vineyard and a winery, so you can go there and do tours. We have free tours on the weekends at noon. It's family friendly. You can bring your kids. It's also dog friendly. They have a lot of events going on in October, especially for Oktoberfest.
Okay, so next we have Cornell. So some picks that I had, and were actually all endorsed by Vicki, are very dedicated local volunteer in the area. First is Dylan's Dairy. They have unique menu items. They're a really great ice cream shop as well. We get actually a lot of submissions, pictures from people who stop in Cornell along their travels when they're doing hikes along the trail. So I feel like that's another great endorsement for it. And it actually has a really great kind of story behind it. So Dylan Crabb, who lived in Cornell, actually passed away from leukemia in 2009, and he had this dream of being a dairy farmer. So this Dylan's Dairy is kind of in memory of him. So a great story behind it. And then the Wisconsin Veteran Farm LLC and Winery is a winery you can go to. They have a great outdoor space. Also, their business helps supports vets, which is a good cause. And then we have Brunette Island State Park, which Vicki endorsed as well. So that is located on the Chippewa River. There's a bunch of different hiking trails along there, and some cool geological features you can see on those trails. And it is a great spot for doing some canoeing and kayaking if you're looking for that. And then we have some local favorites from Vicki. So Vicki, you're welcome to share these if you'd like and talk about them.
Okay, in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see the OB Center. This owl is a new animal that they've got on display. Our chapter paid for the taxidermy for that when it was donated to the OB Center. They have display of all the animals of Chippewa County, and there's displays on the Ice Age, the glaciers, and so forth. It's a really neat place to stop in at. In the bottom corner, you'll see our large erratic. This is found on the Harwood Lake segment. You have to look for it carefully if you're coming from the west, because it's on the east side of a hill. And so if you are not looking for it, you might miss it, but it's right east of the Deer Fly Trail crossing. Chippewa River segment follows along the Chippewa River and then crosses the road and goes through a preserve. It's really beautiful looking down. You're up high above the river when you are walking along the Chippewa River. And then in the middle there, you see our Firth Lake Boardwalk. And you can see that it's a little wonky and overgrown. This one dates back to 1973. And we work really hard to keep it in sturdy condition, even though it doesn't look perfect. It's actually getting replaced during the event. It's being replaced the week of October 17th to the 21st. So if you come hiking during that time, you'll get to see what an MSC crew is up to when they're working on the trail. So Cornell is famous for the pulpwood stacker. It's the last one left in the world. It went out of use in 1972, but it used to stack lumber in this area, which is now called Millyard Park. We have Cornell Bowling Alley. They have 6 lanes. They have lots of balls to choose from for free use, and you can rent shoes there. Rise and Shine Coffee House is a new restaurant that we have. They have specialty coffees and they make bakery, primarily like breakfast bakery, donuts and that kind of thing. It's a new business that just started up this summer. Sam's Place is a diner. It's a lot like an A&W kind of menu. And then Moonridge Brew Pub is it's a microbrewery. They brew about 8 different beers. And then they also have pizza, and they make the crust out of the spent grain from the brewing process, which is really yummy. And we're really excited this year. Main Scoop has been in Cornell for 20 years. But the owners always left at the end of September. So we've never been able to offer this for the Mammoth event, but it is very popular with hikers during the summer. This year, there's a new owner that just took over, and they have decided they will stay open until the end of October. So when you come to Cornell, stop at Main Scoop for some delicious ice cream.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vicki. So next up, we have Rib Lake. So here's some pics that we came up with. So Northside Cafe is kind of your quintessential like small town local diner that serves American food. Just has like a really cozy and quaint atmosphere. Hank's Little Bohemia is a bowling alley. So similar to Cornell, Rib Lake also has a bowling alley. So if you're visiting with family or kids, that's like a great stop. There's also a bar there and a jukebox. So I was reading some comments and people were really excited about the jukebox there. So, and then Camp 28 is a local favorite. So it is located on Rib Lake, and it's both a restaurant and a motel. So if you're looking for a place to stay overnight, that's a good option to check out. And it's kind of like an old-fashioned up north style place. So you kind of get the up north feel and feel like you're, camping and stuff, which is always fun. And then Timms Hill National Trail is a trail that features the highest point in Wisconsin. So as you can kind of see in this image, it's the observation tower that you can go up to. I've actually been there before and it's really fun. Something you can kind of check off your bucket list. And then Hill of Beans is a cute cafe with cottages that's located right by Timms Hill. So if you're going to Timms Hill and looking for a place to eat, you can go there. Also, if you're looking for a little vacation getaway, that's a good option. And then Wood Lake is a very scenic 13.5 mile trail. There's campsites along there, so it's kind of a good option if you're looking to do some backpacking in the area. And we have some local favorites from Rib Lake. Java Journey is a coffee shop, and Miranda has been there and says it's very good. And they also have a cute little shop that's part of it. So they're known for making really good paninis if you're looking for a good sandwich. And then Yummy Pizza and Ice Cream is another dining option in the area. Honestly, there's like nothing better than pizza and ice cream after hiking all day, so you might need to do that. If you're looking for some souvenirs to bring back with you, Personalized Treasures is a good option. I always love getting like a little mug or a sticker or postcard from places I visited, so you can get that from Personalized Treasures. And then if you are looking to do some camping in the area, Lakeview Park is a place that has campsites. They also have a playground, so if you have kids with you, you can go to the playground. I know as a kid I always loved going campsites and stuff at playgrounds, so that's a bonus. And then we have Merrill.
Okay, so Merrill is actually one of our newest trail communities along with Rib Lake. So there'll be more details about our dedication ceremony for Merrill later. So the first one on our list is Los Mezcales, and it's a Mexican restaurant in Merrill. And they have a huge sprawling menu that's filled with authentic Mexican cuisine. And they also have deep fried ice cream, which I have never had, but I have been told that it is amazing. And it's kind of just like a churro that's been deep fried around ice cream, which sounds very, very good. And somehow it just doesn't melt, which I think is very impressive. The next place on our list is Auntie Ray's Coffee House. So this is like typical, very good coffee shop that has a bunch of homemade baked goods. And they also have a huge range of drinks. So if you're not a coffee drinker like I am, you can also go and get all kinds of really cool mix like juice drinks and refreshers, especially after a long day of hiking. That would be really fun. They also have breakfast and lunch options if you want to stop in for a meal. Polka Dotted Pie is also another bakery. They have a lot of really great sweet and savory baked goods, but they especially specialize in pies. And if you visit their Facebook page, you would just like, I don't know, you'll start drooling. All of their pies look so good. I wish I could go there right now and buy like 5 of them immediately. The next place is the Sawmill Brewing Company. This will be the location of the dedication ceremony. It has a very cool venue. They locally source their ingredients for the brewery. They have food, live music. They have trivia nights, which are themed. They have regular trivia, then they have like Disney trivia, which I think is very cool. They have music bingo for some of their events, which again, we'll have more details about later in the presentation. And then next on our list is Dragons, Daggers, and Games. So if you love any types of games, whether it's card games, board games, tabletop games, this is definitely the place for you. They have a mix of a store, but then they also hold a whole bunch of social events that are tailored towards any types of the games that I just mentioned above. So a lot of times they have D&D sessions, or they'll have like Pokemon socializing games, or they'll have a night where they focus on just one type of board game. So if you're in the area and you're staying for a while and you want to go out and socialize with the locals, that would be a great place to go. The Northwoods Maple Farm is a very long-running maple farm. It's a sugar maple farm that has been around for about 4 generations, and they specialize in using sustainable practices, family-owned. On the website, or if you visit the farm, they'll give you a bunch of information about how they grow their trees, how they make their syrup, and they also have a bunch of recipes on their website for all kinds of amazing things that you can make with their maple syrup, which is also good. They'll also have some events going on in the fall, so for the Mammoth Hike Challenge, you can go up there, spend a day at the maple farm, or you could also spend the day at the Helen's Hilltop Orchard. It was originally a dairy farm back in the early 1900s, but then has since switched to an apple orchard. It's also family owned. They also have a commercial bakery, so while you go there, you can pick apples and eat really good food and drink cider, hot apple cider. They have a sunflower event that actually just started today and will run until October 2nd. So if you're up that way, you can take a picture with a bunch of their ginormous sunflowers. And the last place is the Weinbrenner Outlet Store, which is a very old store for shoe making. They make very durable boots, and they've been over 100 years in boot making for hard workers. They've donated a bunch of boots to all kinds of war efforts or disaster support. They donated shoes for soldiers in World War II, and they also donated shoes for first responders during 9/11. So if you want like a really sturdy boot that will get you through life, you can go to the outlet shop and get a good pair of boots. And these are just some local pictures around the segments that you can find near Merrill. The trail does not actually go through Merrill, but if you do take a little bit of a drive and you go down to the trail, this is where you'll find some of these great pictures, especially in the fall. These pictures on the right will look amazing with all the fall colors. And then the last place on here is the Grandstand, which has some amazing ice cream. That soft serve looks very impressive. So if you're down for another sweet treat while you're hiking, you should stop at the Grandstand.
Okay, and then our last trail community for this presentation is Antigo. Similar to Merrill, Antigo is not located directly on the trail, but because a lot of the segments in the northern area are kind of remote, it's really nice to like have a trail community nearby to provide, you know, dining options or lodging options, things like that. So here are some pics for Antigo. So Dixie Lunch, which is a local favorite that Carrie has also endorsed, is about to celebrate 77 years in business. So I feel like that says enough on its own. But it's a comfort food diner that of course has like an amazing Friday fish fry. And then we have Jack Lake Campground. So this is one of the camping options in the Antigo area. It's located on a really nice lake that is surrounded by county-owned forests. As a note, it does close mid-October, kind of depending on weather. But if you're going to Antigo in the beginning of October, this is an option. They have a bunch of individual campsites, electrical hookups, group sites, cabins you can even rent, and then they also have private camping if that's something you're interested in. And then the Peter Marsh State Wildlife Area is a spot to check out if you're looking for some wildlife. There's a lot of different animals and flora there. Might get to see some sandhill cranes. At least in Dane County, there's always sandhill cranes out and about. So I enjoy that, being from Milwaukee where I haven't really seen them before. And then the Hillbilly Hilton is a former lodging camp root cellar that has now been kind of converted into a well-loved spot by hikers. It's located on the lumber camp segment. So I believe you can actually go inside and kind of walk around and check it out. But it's very affectionately called the Hillbilly Hilton for obvious reasons. And then we have some local favorites. I think Carrie is here from Antigo and will be sharing those.
Yes, actually the Hillbilly Hilton, you can go in it and everything. So yeah, step out. There's also a truck on one of an old like 1950s truck on one of the Ice Age Trail segments as well. But while in Antigo, our Langley County Historical Society Museum is actually a Carnegie Library. It was built back in 1905. So it houses the Historical Society, but it also houses our Antigo Langley County Welcome Center as well. So we have a 24-hour vestibule for all trail information. So whether it be Ice Age Trail, or if you're looking at anything else to do in Langley County. Also on the property, a great attraction is the 440 locomotive that you can see a picture of there. Many people stop just to take a picture of the locomotive. So the railroad used to come into Antigo and there was a roundabout and everything. So to learn some history about the museum or about the train system and everything in Antigo, you can always stop in. They do tours during summertime, so May through the beginning of October. They do tours of the train and the caboose, and also the Delagli's cabin, which is a cabin that's been relocated, but it actually was lived in by the founder of Antigo. So that's why it's on the property. So just a short distance from the museum is our Springbrook Trail system and the Yesterday Sign Park. But Springbrook Trail is actually a boardwalk that goes along Springbrook. It's 1,800 foot long, suspended, not suspended, but a bridge and stuff that you can walk on. And then eventually there's paved paths and stuff. So along that trail system is Antigo Lake, which some people do fishing on and kayaking. And also there is an 18-hole disc golf course throughout the trail system. During the winter, it is groomed for cross-country skiing, and you can also snowshoe along the side of that trail as well. As for Yesterday Sign Park, Antigo is actually known for neon signs. So right in downtown Antigo, we have Yesterday Sign Park. So some of the signs do change out, especially the billboard one in the middle. At night, it's actually all lit up if they do have neon inserts into them. So it's a very interesting stop if you have some time at night or during the day. Satori Cheese is located in Antigo. They do not have a retail place at all anymore, but you can get it at local grocery stores at Lakeside, Century Foods, or our Pick and Save. Satori is known for their Asiago cheese. When they got purchased, they tried to move out the Asiago line, and no place else can actually do the Asiago just the way it has been, the award-winning Asiago from Antigo. So Other restaurants, I know we hit on the Dixie Lunch, but right next door is actually Fifth Ave Lounge and Restaurant. So that's more of your pub type style restaurant if you're looking for maybe a brew or something that way. Dixie Lunch is also known for their fish fry. So it's a very light breaded fish. So a lot of people like it that way. BB Jack's is also a local pub and lounge, so you can get a brew as well there, along with pizza and sandwiches. They are also now distributing frozen pizzas, or you can do a take and bake as well. So it's very thin crust style pizzas there. Other ones that is kind of state known to stop at is our bakeries. Pavik's Antigo Bakery is known for their butter cookies. They actually do really melt in your mouth. Don't know how many calories, but you know, it's always good when you're walking and burning off the calories. But they also have other cookies, donuts, breads, pies, and cakes. Gunkel's Bakery is also known for their healthy flaxseed bread, buns, and bagels. So I would recommend stopping there as well to pick up some, at least the bagels are great and stuff. So, but those are made out of flaxseed.
Awesome, thank you, Carrie. So yeah, those were our highlights for the northern region of the Ice Age Trail. Obviously, we have to remind you to sign up for our Mammoth Hike Challenge that starts October 1st, which is next Saturday. Sorry, I'm just like realizing how close that is. So honestly, the Mammoth Hike Challenge is a great excuse to visit these places. We basically planned your trip for you at this point, so made it nice and easy. And then our trail communities are also hosting a variety of local events throughout the Mammoth Hike Challenge to kind of help you check out those areas and get your miles in. So a few of those, St. Croix Falls on October 8th has their Fall Colors and Full Moon Hike with their local Indian Head chapter. Cornell also on October 8th has a hike, and you have an opportunity to meet Monty, which is always so much fun. And that's with the Chippewa Marine chapter. And then Merrill, a big shout out to them because they will on, again, October 8th, be having their Ice Age Trail Community Celebration event. And that will be at the Sawmill Brewing Company, which we featured in our presentation. So we have a full list of events at iceagetrail.org/events. And actually within this presentation, it will be downloaded so you can go back and visit it. And then we've included direct links to a lot of these things. So anything that's been underlined is hyperlinked, so you can go ahead to like the websites for some of the places we talked about, or like for here, you'll be taken to the event page. So we'll also be socializing and featuring these events through on our social media pages. So shameless plug to follow us on those to stay up to date with what's going on. And yeah, so we'll have time for questions, but I just real quick wanted to thank everyone who came to the presentation, especially a huge thank you to Vicki and Carrie for representing their trail communities and providing insider views on things to do in Cornell and Antigo. Honestly, a lot of the food places are making me hungry. So it was great to hear about that. Again, in the presentation, we have linked the itineraries for all the trail communities we talked about. So if you're wanting a full list of kind of the must-see places in these communities, you can click on a link to the itinerary and kind of check that out. But yeah, thanks again. We have time for questions. So if anyone has any questions, I'll also check the chat.